Live.
All right, we're live, Tom?
Yes. Good evening. It is now 6:30. Welcome to the Thursday, September 17th Parks and Recreation Advisory Board meeting. This evening, our chair and vice chair are absent and will not be attending board, so we need to nominate and have a vote for an acting chairman for this meeting.
I will make a motion that Phil acts as chair for the September 17th meeting.
Second.
Same. Motion approved.
All in favor?
All in favor?
Aye.
All right, Mr. Acting Chairman, you now can do roll call.
All right, good evening. Item number 1, we'll do call to order the Parks and Recreation Advisory Board for Thursday, September 17th, 2020. And roll call. Esteban?
Present.
Joey?
Here.
Jason?
Present.
Sean Michael?
Present.
Absent are both Scott and Dave. Item number 2, Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, to the republic which stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
All right, item number 3, approval of the meeting agenda.
I'll make a motion to approve.
Motion by Joey,
Second.
second by Jason.
Same.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. Item number 4, approval of the minutes from the August 20th meeting. They are before you. Give everyone a second to review those.
Mr. Acting Chairman, we do have a guest here this evening. If you guys choose, you can move her up the agenda to before the committee reports, so we can get her
Perfect, yep.
on her way.
We'll do that. Thank you.
I'll make a motion to move up the fitness provider presentation.
Actually, can I get a motion for the approval of the minutes?
We're going to change the minutes. I'm going to make a motion for the fitness provider of the presentation to be moved. On the agenda. Can I get the motion for them? Got it. Sorry. My fault. I'll make a motion to approve the August 20th minutes.
Second.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right.
Okay, so I'll make a motion to amend the minutes, the agenda, to move new business, the fitness provider presentation, up to, I guess, before public comment.
I will second the motion.
All right. All in favor?
Aye.
All right.
So that puts up.
Doing good. How are you?
I'm doing well, thank
Good.
you.
Thanks for joining us.
Yeah, thank you. Perfect. Okay. Wonderful. I'm Haley Poinsett. I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I just moved here about, I would say a year ago, back in October. So coming to you guys because back then I worked with the city of Houston, ran boot camps and kind of helped with a little bit of their health and wellness. We also worked with the city police and the firefighters too. So kind of bringing in a little bit of that, but as well as my own twist here to you guys. So we'll get started. It'll be super quick. The top 3 classes that I would like to bring to the table are going to be dance fitness, a recess for the kiddos, and then a boot camp or group fitness for adults. The dance fitness I have done before at a studio. I've never necessarily done it outside, but it's been a great time. People usually like it. It's good for kids and adults, so it spans all ages, which is pretty exciting for most people. but very family oriented. Then the recess I've actually been doing with Alpharetta as well. So it's a free class that they offer for the kiddos to come out after school. The last time we did on Tuesday, it was about 22 kids. So they have a few hands out there for me, but I run the class, make sure that it's a good flow, make sure the kids are staying somewhat social distance, that kind of stuff. So that's been a really fun time too. And then lastly, the group fitness, been doing that forever. So very comfortable with that. It would be only for adults, so 18 and up, those classes. The general concept is pretty easy. I would love to take the first 6 to 7 months of 2021 to kind of test out some classes, see what the community enjoys, get some feedback, and then kind of move to make things a little bit more consistent. So the first 3 months, just an easy 1 class per week option. Per month will be, let's say, dance fitness will be first month, then we'll do recess, and then we'll do the boot camp. From there, depending on which classes are most popular, I'd love to be able to add on a few classes, make maybe 1 or 2 of them super consistent for the community. So we'll move it on. From there, my goal would be, and this is something that we've kind of had some meetings about and chatted a little bit, is to kind of just make it bigger and better. So taking what we've been doing, possibly adding in some other trainers with some more days, some other options of classes. I'm very well versed in many different types of fitness, as well as just leading big groups and classes in general. So I can do things like yoga, I can teach gymnastics, I can teach sports, I can pretty much do anything. So whatever works for the community, I'm down to program and make sure it's set out, nicely for them. And then I just gave a quick example of what I'd kind of like to see or what I think would flow well. Basically, having that 1 class per week, it can be whatever time or day that we decide. And then as we go, every other month, I would like to also add a class to that. So, for example, let's say the dance fitness is running every Tuesday. That's consistent, never changes. And then every other month, we'll throw in another class on another day, either for the kids or the adults, just to kind of spice it up a little bit and add some other fun stuff for them. And then last thing, these are a few things that I just wanted to make sure I went over for y'all. Each class, I'm going to have a check-in of my own, as well as waivers and things for them to make sure that, I'm covering my end as well as you guys too. And then I also want to make sure that all of these people and whoever's taking the classes are getting follow-ups. I don't want them to just come to the class necessarily and that's it. But hey, anything hurting? Like, do you have any questions? How was the class? Things like that would be nice, just to kind of create a little bit of community within our classes as well. And it also helps me get to know them. So as their trainer, I can kind of tweak when they need. So feel a little bit more comfortable. I use an outdoor speaker for all of my classes, so hopefully that will be okay. I usually am obviously mindful of the noise and the way it faces, so hopefully that will be all right. And then, as I talked about, I can sub in other trainers as well as bringing in other trainers for other classes, or if I'm unavailable to be at a class. And then, of course, lastly, just everything will work through the city. Obviously, I'm creating the programs and things, but I would love for the city to handle the registration and all of that stuff on that end. So any questions on that? That's pretty much it. Yep, the last page.
If you see us looking down, by the way, we have computer screens.
Oh, okay.
We see your presentation.
Yeah, no worries.
We're ignoring you.
No worries at all.
We're just looking at your presentation. Any comments or questions?
Yeah, any questions or comments, I'm open for sure.
Where are we looking to have this? All outside?
It can be open. I mean, it's whatever fits the space and what also, fits people-wise, what we feel comfortable in that space. So it's really open to whatever works.
We discussed a lot of different options for classes. So depending on the class, it could be inside, it could be outside. Broadwell, potentially even Bell Park.
Because certainly the fitness stuff, a lot of moms you see at the parks, right? People
Right.
Probably doing that on their own just because the fields are open and you'll see group training there all the time.
Yeah. I saw some on the way here actually driving.
So do you see it more as a seasonal or is this a year-round program?
As far as the boot camp or just in general?
In general.
In general, I would love to just rock it out all the time. So just make it a consistent thing with the city. And like I said, we can change it up as needed, or if y'all think there needs to be a break of some sort. I mean, I'm really open to whatever works for you guys.
Yeah. I'm just thinking inclement weather,
Right.
cold weather, indoor space, capacity, right?
Right.
Kind of thinking through those logistics.
Exactly. Yep. All of those steps, I would say that majority of the classes could be held inside if there was any type of weather issues. But another option too is I could also like video those classes and we can just like blast that out in an email if inclement weather or something like that. That's an option that I've been doing for people currently just because of our times. So that's other options that I have. I also have a Zoom account, so I can do anything and everything on Zoom. If people want to use Zoom, if they feel more comfortable. So that's another option I didn't put on there. But I would say that if a smaller space, make it less people, I'm still very much able to handle the class either way. So it would be more about the sizing of the class, I would say, depending on the space.
Your offering is timely when people are hesitant to go back to large gyms.
Right. Yeah.
Right? Small group exercise.
Yes.
Virtual exercise.
It's been great. Yeah, for sure.
Good.
Yeah. This fits, I feel like it fits some of the categories we talked about in our offerings too.
Yeah.
So, and it just takes a person to drive it. Something
Yeah.
you can drive it.
Yeah, most definitely.
That's what I saw is someone that doesn't just offer yoga or
Right.
doesn't just offer Pilates.
Yeah.
She's well versed in a lot of different areas. She can fill a lot of buckets in our missing programming that our surrounding cities and counties offer.
Yeah.
So would people register with the city? Is that how it would work? And then kind of pay the city and then?
Yes. So,
based on the last slide?
the way it works now with not all of our programs, but a lot of them, we get a roster and then we invoice the program for the 15%. It would just work opposite with her. So we would collect the registration and then she would get her 85, just like our dance programming and Tai Chi programming is now.
Oh, yeah.
So we would collect up front and then she would get her portion.
Okay.
Good.
Anything else you'll have for me? Yeah.
I think it's great. I think it's,
You have social media?
I'm sorry. Say it
Social
one-
media? You have social media?
I do, yeah. I have social media. Everything is uniquely fit, so that same concept, or you fit, you can look that up too. So yeah, I have a Facebook and then Instagram as well.
Good. How long you been in the area for?
So since October, but I've lived in the area the whole time, so been enjoying it. I also work for Restore, so I'm actually full-time. I manage that at the Avalon, so that's my full-time job. I'm not, I have a full-time job. So yes, I'm sorry?
Avalon where?
The Avalon, so right by the Pilates, Club Pilates. So we're opening up right there. Yeah, and right now we have a huge sign on the front. But yeah, so that's kind of what I do normally. So my whole life is really just health and wellness. I like to make sure that people are taking care of themselves, like recovery-wise, but also in the fitness realm in all scopes. I'm also post and pre-partum, so that's something, I don't know if people are interested, or is that something that someone would be like, oh, I would like to know more. Those are even things that I can just put tips out, for people. So I'm very Swiss Army knife. That's what I was called. A Swiss Army knife for y'all. So whatever you need, let me know.
Sounds good. Great presentation.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Appreciate your time.
motion for you to continue the conversation? Is that what we're?
Yes, please.
So I'll make a motion for staff to continue this conversation with Uniquely Fit and bring it in as programming as they see fit.
Second.
Same.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Motion approved. All right. We'll go back to point number 5, public comment. Tom, do we have a public comment at this time?
Mr. Acting Chairman, we do. We have Mr. Jim Craig here.
Mr. Jim Craig, please come forward, sir. State your name and your address, please.
Does he want us to know?
Public comment is a time for citizens to share information with the PRAB and to provide input and options on any matter that is not scheduled for its own public hearing during today's meeting. Jim, the floor is yours.
Hello, my name is Jim Craig.
Mr. Jim Craig, you only have 10 minutes to speak. I'm setting the timer.
Being that I only have 10 minutes to speak, I'm going to transmit my thoughts to you using metal telepathy. Okay? I live at 1078 Colony Drive, Alpharetta, Georgia, 30009 as of now. And I just came out here because this is my first opportunity that I was in town when you guys were having a meeting. I wanted to say goodbye. I don't have the words to thank all of you as a group and individually and personally. Each and every one of you I have interacted with, and I have grown from my relationship with you guys. And, I don't know if you read the story in the newspaper, but my plan back in January was not to retire. But the whole thing with COVID, Kathleen having already announced she was retiring from the school, and I was done coaching. I was done with my umpire program. I had quit the Alpharetta Code Enforcement Board. And, quite literally, Kathleen and I were sitting on the back porch. I was working the job from my computer on the back porch. Kathleen was finishing up teaching kindergarten through Zoom. And I went upstairs to the second floor main bathroom, not the master bathroom. And very seriously, there were cobwebs in the bathroom. And I don't mean like, one or two. There were cobwebs. And so I come down and I said, Kathleen, when was the last time you cleaned this bathroom? To which she said, when was the last time you cleaned this bathroom? So after I cleaned the bathroom, it kind of got us thinking. And I said, what's keeping us here? Her plan had been to retire from teaching and become a substitute teacher. But it became apparent that they were going to, come June, they were going to continue they were not going to have substitutes. It was going to be online. So she wouldn't have the job opportunity she thought she was going to have. She just didn't want to work every day. She wanted to be able to pick and choose. And, I've got 3 kids grown and gone. I got, 4 bedrooms, 2.5 baths. We use 1 bedroom, 1 bathroom. We use the kitchen, the TV room, and the porch, and 60% of the house we don't even go into, and that was very vividly brought out to me, and I said, why are we here? And she said, well, I have your job. And I said, I like what I do, but I can get a job anywhere, worst comes to worst, I get a job with Publix, and all my stress is label face front, label face front, yeah? But Kathleen grew up close to a beach. She always wanted to be back to a beach. She literally grew up, she would go out her front door, and in less than a 10-minute walk, she was on the beach, on the ocean. And grew up in Jersey Shore. Over a year and a half ago, we had picked out where we wanted to retire to one day. Margaritaville Latitude. It's a 55 and up community in Hardyville, South Carolina, which is next to Bluffton, which is right across the intercoastal waterway from Hilton Head. And over many years, we have taken family vacations all the way from Gulf Shores, Panhandle, up and down Florida, Georgia, South Carolina, Outer Banks, North Carolina, knowing we were going to get to a beach. And we had figured out where we wanted a year and a half ago. But we're sitting there on the porch, and I'm like, why don't we just move on and just live our life? I was devastated by Ron's loss. I don't know how much you guys knew how close Ron and I were outside of this group, but he and I spent holidays together. We spent my 62nd birthday together, clowning around, acting like idiots, talking about our retirement plans. Then he got COVID and he died. And I was reminded of the fact that my father, who's 62, retired from the phone company after 40 years. Retired a month later, got a brain tumor, and 3 months later he was dead. And this COVID thing just kind of brought it close to me that tomorrow's not promised anybody. My oldest is out in California in the Navy. We don't know where he'll wind up, but Kevin and Katie, they were very supportive of the idea, because the first thing they said when we talked about moving there is, we've got a spare bedroom a half hour from a beach. Yes. And we just put it all in play. I mean, we sold, if you look at my house now, it's empty, and we've sold everything except, the very bare basics. We kept our bedroom set. We've kept laundry equipment, my recliner, of course, and, just some boxes and stuff we need. Everything else we sold, it's gone. Most of the rooms are empty. Put the house in the market, 2 days. Full contract, no contingencies. Our choice of when to close. Kathleen and I, today's what, Thursday? Kathleen and I are leaving Saturday morning. We're going out to Margaritaville, and we're going to custom order the house. We'll live in some temporary housing. We're going to do an Airbnb for about 3 or 4 months and then figure something else out. But for the first time in my life, I'm going to have a built-from-scratch home. No more working, repairing on the house. This has all kind of come together. It was not the plan, but you know what? If you trust in God, and I do, we'll figure it out. In all honesty, I will. I don't really see myself as retired. I see myself right now as taking a sabbatical. I will do something when I get out there. I don't know if I'm going to do Parks and Rec. I was doing something else when I came to Parks and Rec 8 years ago, and I may do something else now. But I'm very grateful to the city. I went to Steve and I said, I'd like to talk about early retirement. He says, we don't have an early retirement program. And I kind of used one of his lines on as well, just because it hasn't been done in the past doesn't mean we can't do it in the future, But Steve was good. Steve was good. The elected officials were good. And literally everything has fallen in place. So I really feel like this is where God wants Catherine and I to go. We are extremely excited. You can tell I'm feeling good. This is the best I have felt since you guys last seen me. I have dropped over 70 pounds. I'm doing a Bible study every day. That's really helped reinvigorate my head. And this is the best I have felt in 15 plus years. So I just wanted to come in here and look you in the eye and thank you, tell you why, tell you what's going on, and say goodbye. But most of all of you, thank you. You guys are the best I could possibly ask for to have working with me and for me. I think it's I'm pretty honored the fact that you got the opportunity at the interim position. Work it. Get it. You've earned it. You can do it. You know how to do it. Just have confidence in yourself. Rely on these guys. Okay? They will tell you on more than one occasion we have had conversations, some of which I said this conversation didn't happen. Okay? But I need help. There's a lot of combined wisdom on this board. And Thomas, you have far exceeded the expectations we had hoped for a year ago. And look at where you're at now in not even a year from when you started here last October. This is the opportunity you were looking for. I remember talking to you about the fact that there wasn't too many opportunities to move up here unless I got hit by a bus. So MARTA's on the way, and I'm going to jump in front of it. Okay, guys? I just wanted to take the minute and say thank you. I love you all. I appreciate you. I think the world of you. And if you're ever driving through hard, Hilton Head, come see me. My number won't change. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.
Jim.
Thank you again.
Thank you.
Certainly, the city is better for your presence here.
Selfishly, it's good to have someone near Hilton Head when you're driving in.
Yeah.
Right. Hey, guys, I'm closing on my house November 2nd. So I'll be living in my house another 6 weeks, 5-6 weeks. So I'm here probably till just before Halloween. But so if the opportunity comes and any of you guys feel motivated and want to buy me lunch, I will gladly take it. Thanks.
Definitely.
See you guys. Bye-bye.
Thanks, Jim.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Thanks, bud.
Thanks for a special meeting.
Yes.
I'd like to move that we end the meeting. Just kidding. I know you got more stuff to do.
All right, item number 6, committee reports. We'll kick off with Hopewell Baseball.
Yeah. The fall season start without any problem. The All-Star team and the travel team are practicing weekdays. Obviously, with less players due to the COVID, but nothing more to report. I mean, everything is okay. We are doing under the CDC guidelines. So the separations. No, we don't use the dugouts. We keep the kids in the fence with 2 feet separation, 3 feet separation, something like that. But everything's normal with Hopewell baseball.
Good. Joey, Eagle Sticks?
The season just got started, so we've only had, maybe a couple weeks. As I said before, I think, and I don't. You might have numbers. I think we're around the same as normal.
Last I heard from Tim, it's actually up.
Well, it's up. He said he actually did say it's a little higher than it's ever been, but it's within that same frame. And surprisingly, we are in it's probably much like baseball. Well, I don't know much about baseball, but because we are at Fulton County facilities, we're having to do temperature checks and a few other things. So there's always someone there. You got to get there a little bit early. I will say I've only seen Birmingham Falls. It looks fantastic. I have not seen Northwestern. I heard it was underwater a little bit, but I think everything might be. But all in all, for now, everything's going great, and we'll just keep an eye on the fields. I'm sure Tom can tell us if there's something going to happen anytime. I saw Tom was moving goals from Bell to Cox, so hopefully the fields stay nice. But everything's good.
Good. Jason, anything else to add?
Nope, fields, things are up and going and running. So.
Good. Football.
Nothing new to really report. Season's moving along. They're about 3-4 weeks into games now. So that's about it there.
Okay. Halftime sports, basketball. Spoke with Kim. And Tom, you may have more current information. I spoke to him about 4 weeks ago, around the meeting last time. He was looking for additional capacity. He can't get into the schools, so that makes sense. He had a couple of locations in mind that he was vetting out and working towards, but I haven't gotten an update since then. Tom, any update that you're aware of, either him securing new locations and or getting access to the schools?
There has been movement for getting access to another gym. Kim has done all that negotiation and talking. I have not gotten involved yet. We spoke this morning, and that ball should continue rolling, and I will have a discussion with this facility. It is outside the city limits, but at this point, any gymnasium without the access to the schools, he's already got, I think he said 147 kids registered, and it's only been open a few weeks, and it's still, they don't start till November.
Open when schools open?
I emailed Fulton County this afternoon, and the response was, at this time, we do not have a time frame for opening up rental of indoor facilities.
Okay.
So the way when COVID first happened in March, before school even got canceled, they canceled all external rentals first. I would only assume that they're going to kick things back up in that exact reverse order. So outside rentals of indoor space, outside as in, not Fulton County programming, will probably be the last thing to happen. So I would not be surprised if this, either all or most of this winter season, we won't have access to Fulton County schools, unfortunately. Yeah. That's what I'm planning for, but, I could be pleasantly surprised.
Right.
Okay. I would agree with that assessment from what we've dealt with them, that I don't think they're going to open the schools up for those activities.
Yep. Swim team.
No report.
No report. In tennis.
From last month, there's also no report
No
there.
report? All right. And arts programming? I think that's Scott, unless you got an update, Tom?
Bach to Rock is the only other arts program that we're still trying to get going. They had a ukulele class they were offering up, and it has not had enough registration to go. I'm hopeful that Bach to Rock just keeps on plugging away and we can get something going. They have good programming. We just got to get it off the ground.
Do we know why they started with the ukulele program?
I think it's one of their most popular ones they have inside their own facility.
Oh, okay.
You should try it.
It's just a...
I need a demonstration.
Yeah. It's not one I guess I would...
I'm sensing a team building event, guys.
Here we go.
We should
Make it happen.
Should. All right, that takes care of committee reports. Moving on to item number 7, unfinished business, Wall of Fame.
All right, guys. Last meeting we had not received all of the ballots, so they are all in now. They are calculated. We do have our winners. They are our winners. What's nominee? Well, they're not nominees. Inductees. That's the word.
Inductees, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Thomas. Yeah, so we have the inductees, and we're looking to do the Wall of Fame ceremony on November 7th, in line with the championship Saturday with Hopewell Baseball, as we did last year. It wasn't a really, really, really big event last year. If we start thinking a lot of people are going to show up, we'll have to figure out how to do that with all COVID going on. But that's all I have for today. I will definitely send out in an email to you guys who's going to be on. And Thomas has already started reaching out to the inductees to congratulate them, let them know about November 7th, and RSVP if they can make it, and send us a picture for promotional, social media and stuff.
Yeah.
Great.
I think it was. I think I remember last one. It coincided with baseball's opening, right?
Closing.
Something that
The
was
championship Saturday.
championship, which is fantastic. I wouldn't change it. There was other events going on. I think people were scattered.
Yeah.
I think there were some tournaments going on with other programming.
Oh, you mean with where they couldn't attend?
Yeah.
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 Any other comments?
To your email, I thought your suggestions were fantastic. I couldn't think of anything additional.
Yes.
I don't know if anyone else came up with anything else, but I thought that was pretty good. You needed to limit everything you did would limit what we're seeing, add some information that we weren't getting. I thought it was fine.
For the record, Joey is referring to the questions on the Wall of Fame nomination form online.
I apologize. My memory isn't that good.
No, I agree with Joey. I thought those questions were exactly to what we're looking for. Just enough information, but not too drawn out on a specific area, but giving background in multiple facets.
Yeah, I'll get with communications and find out the appropriate character limits for those. I guess I could sit there and hold down G and see how many, see what 300 Gs look like. But I'll get with communications, and we can probably have that edited in the next week or two. And then,
Great.
And I don't think we've had any nominations for next year yet. So, we won't publish it and promote it until we get it fixed.
Right.
Or altered.
I apologize. I saw your email.
Yeah.
I didn't read the email, but I trust my colleagues here. But I will look at it and respond within the next 2 days. So you'll have that at least.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Anything else on Wall of Fame? No? Junior Park Ranger Program.
I left this on the unfinished business. I have no update, but I didn't want it to fall off the agenda. So hopefully by next month, we'll have a little more. So we could just defer this to next month.
Okay.
Perfect.
I want my badge.
Excuse me?
So I'm going to earn my badges.
You can make the criteria.
I know. All right, item number 8, new business. The only one remaining, Bell Park signage.
All right.
Find the pictures.
At Bell Memorial Park, there is that wall as you walk in, right down the what would you call it? The
main
Concourse?
walkway.
the concourse.
The letters.
Yes, and it spells out Bell Memorial Park most of the time. About maybe 6 weeks ago, we were, I think Joey was walking to the park and he's like, "Oh, 2 letters are missing. I better call Tom." And I guess the next day we had already called in the order for 2 more letters.
Oh, yeah. I had actually said it to my business partner, and she had already talked to Thomas, and she goes, "What's going on over there?" Yeah.
Is this your sustainable growth model?
Yes. Yes. We go there and rip them off.
So where are these letters going, just out of curiosity? Where are these letters going?
Great question.
Yeah, they're not.
Okay. Is it what I think it is?
Yes.
Yeah.
And
Really?
in the meantime, as we're waiting for 2 letters to come in, actually, I think I got the email. Oh, the letters are in, and 2 more are now gone.
Yeah.
And in that meantime,
Do we not have cameras in the area?
not on that spot. In fact, I don't even have any, because all of our cameras at the parks are all Wi-Fi, and I don't have a Wi-Fi connection that far out. So that brings us to this point here. I don't like that it says El Memori Al Irk.
Elmore.
And it seems to be a constant turnover of letters, and they are very expensive. The letters themselves are $125 or something, and then we pay to install them too. For those 2 letters, it was like $500 that were missing. As often as these things keep falling off, and it's not just that they're falling out of the concrete, they're also breaking off of the letters themselves. I'm coming to you guys as maybe we can come up with another idea, another sign, or do we need another sign that says Bell Park as you're walking in? At the pictures in front of you, the one on the top left is what it looks like now. That picture was taken this week. I met with a local sign company, and they had a couple of ideas or suggestions, and I wanted to throw these ideas by you guys. I'm open to any of them. The first is keep replacing letters and just deal with the fact that kids are going to, I think what's happening is kids are climbing from the front of the wall, trying to get up over it and using the letters as step stools or steps. And then when they fall off, they're like, "Oh, cool, I'll take it home." Could be wrong, but that seems logical. Or a kid named Brian or Bill thinks it's cool that he can take the B and hang it on in his room or something. I don't know. So one option we came up with was get rid of the letters altogether and maybe just have a sign. I haven't looked at code yet, but similar maybe to what's out here at City Hall. They're real nice signs. And maybe just relocate a sign. If you're looking at the bottom picture there, either replace that sign that's there with a Bell Park sign, and maybe make a smaller version of that sign to go next to it. Or the other option was put a Bell Park sign. If you're looking at the top right picture, just kind of put it in between
The flag and the...
in the doggy poo station. Yes. And then also there is on the right when you walk up, there's not a picture of it, there is also a plaque that says Bell Memorial Park, and it's got the mayor and council listed from when the park was built in 2015. So there is a sign already there for Bell Memorial Park. So I think we have 3 options. One is put a sign maybe over by where the waypoint sign is on the bottom picture. Maybe have a sign there somewhere. Does everyone know where that sign is? Mm-hmm. All right. We can put it to the left of the flags at the front. Or we could just not have to have a big sign. I mean, you're there.
Yeah, I was going to ask, I think there is one. When you pull in,
Yes.
there's one on the roadway, right?
Yes.
It's Bell Memorial Park, with the horse on it and everything. Yeah. I mean, to your point, you don't necessarily need it once you're in the park. I mean, to find the park, I think that works. If the letters keep falling off or getting taken, I don't know if there's necessarily another need to put a secondary one inside the park that is mimicking what was outside.
Yeah, I 100% agree. My business partner actually had suggested, she goes, make sure you tell Tom that her option would be to do nothing. Right. She says to take those letters off, and that was her number one. She goes, I hate to say it, but that's, then the number two would be what Tom was saying. There is, what you don't see in here, there is a bell. It says Bell Memorial on a plaque that says Joe Lockwood City, and then it's got the city council underneath. And then you have the one up front. That's the cleanest and nicest. And it gives you, really, honestly, I think the thing here is it gives you time to make a decision later some other time. You have plenty of time. You don't have a worry that the park isn't labeled. The park is labeled. So that would be my suggestion. But then there are options if you decide to later, like this one with the map. You don't necessarily need that map there. I don't know. Do you think so? The map?
Do we need the map?
A necessity?
Yeah, not a necessity. I like it.
I don't mean that. What I mean is not that size. Like, we could very easily accomplish that without it being that large. But then again, I'm someone who goes to the park all the time, so I take advantage that I know where everything is. If someone's coming from out of town or some other area and is trying to figure out what field is where they're going,
that's the problem.
Yeah. So that could,
I mean, the map is necessary, maybe not that size. But when you play with teens, I mean, we play some weekends tournament. Teens come from, I don't know, whatever, Cubs. So they don't know where the field is, you know? Because the signs of the field are too small. So maybe, I mean, this map is necessary but more small. But, I mean, it's not the point. The point is
Yeah, I mean, what about, I mean, this would be more down the road. I would suggest taking off the stone wall there. But at some point, I'm assuming the brick or stuff right there would have to be replaced. You could almost put it in the brick where it would say Belmore Park. It's in the ground. Can't take it, but you would notice it right when you walk in, kind of welcoming you into the facility.
Or into like the cobblestone or something into that little brick pathway.
Yeah, just right in that middle of that archway in the circle.
Idea.
But
I don't remember, when you get into the street to go to the Memorial Park, they have a sign, right? Said Memorial
Yes.
Park?
Yeah. Yes. There's a sign on the corner of that crazy intersection. Thompson, Hopewell. And then there's also one as you pull into the park.
Yeah.
The other long-term option, I agree, Joey. Like, it seems like a waste of money to keep throwing money at something that continues to break. That's not inexpensive, and it is well labeled. Maybe in the future, and I agree, it doesn't have to be decided now, but you can almost commission someone like the arts programming to say, hey, you guys come take a look.
Yeah,
how would you put a Bell Memorial Park sign and look for local donations to maybe, jazz it up? I don't know. Just trying to incorporate that programming into it.
Our design contest with the local
Design
schools or somebody that can do it. And,
Has some fun. Make a community event thing out of it. But I think we can decide that later.
Baseball.
you definitely don't need this one here.
Yeah, I would agree.
And I will tell you, because they're PVC and the way they're studded in, they are always going to be a problem. Tom is one. This is no matter how much you put those things in, they are going to come apart. It's just because the kids are standing on them. Funny enough, there's the victory sign, which is in the middle as you pull in. No one's standing on those, so those are fine, except for one little letter. That's fine, but no one's standing on those. These are getting, the kids are standing on them and getting on the wall, and they're going to continue to come down.
I'm with you.
Yeah, I would vote for the removal of the
So do we need
sign.
to make a motion?
You want a motion, or are you just looking for an informal recommendation?
Yeah, just a recommendation. I don't think a motion's necessary here.
Yeah, I mean, my recommendation would be just to remove the remaining letters. Since
I think there's lots of options. I like your option of putting it in the cobblestone. I think that would look really cool in the cobblestone there.
Yeah.
If they did that, I would also say if you just took that field map and put it over by where the doggy, between the flag and the doggy station, move that there, and then you could use that space if you wanted a sign right?
Or you can just put on top of it
Yeah.
another piece that says Bell Memorial Park.
Something like that.
Top of
But I
that.
think
That's
you
a good
wanted to
point.
angle it a little bit so people saw it as you came in, but how do I know? But I think at this point, we don't need to do anything. I would explore that option of, I think it would really look cool in the cobblestone. That's just me.
Yeah, and I like the idea of
brick.
potentially some art program.
Yeah.
Saying here's what we like, here's what we think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Once it's gone, then maybe Joey will just take a can of spray paint out there and tag it.
And for sure, this looks crazy. It needs to come down soon. Yeah. And this is Elmore. Yeah.
I'm actually playing Scrabble with it in my head right now.
I'm trying to find, at least you have the park. I mean, park.
Well, for the record, they are already down.
You already took him down?
What's that?
You already took him down?
Yeah.
Oh, good.
Glad we're in agreement.
Yep. I was going to say put them back up. All
All right, anything else on Bell Memorial signage?
No,
They're
Mr.
down?
Acting Chairman.
They're done? Okay. All right, moving on to item number 9, city staff reports and communications.
All right. City email. I get the feeling that the city emails still aren't being read very often. So we can either you can put them on your phone and just have it as a separate account. And there's a way to also forward it to your personal accounts. Personally, this doesn't matter, but I don't see the benefit there, because then if you hit reply, it's coming from your personal again.
Right.
Just stay on top of your emails. Check them, at least once a week if you can, because periodically I'll send something out, like not this last email, but the one before. I waited a week and I didn't get a response from anybody. So if you guys could just stay on top of that, that would help me anyway. That's all I've got for that. The adult soccer program, they kicked off this week. A little bit of a rocky start. Part of our agreement was they would paint the field the first time. They'd put the soccer fields down, and then I would have my maintenance crew just keep up with the lines. The season started Monday, and they brought their paint machine out Monday. And it's one of those really cool robots that paint an absolutely perfect field, perfectly square, all the boxes all line up from one side of the field to the other. It's amazing. But the paint sprayer on the machine wasn't working, and then it wasn't catching GPS signal, and they only got like a quarter of one field done. No, it was painting straight when it was actually painting. So that was hiccup number one, and that's none of these issues are necessarily anyone's fault. But then we had light issues. The lights started just going out, one bulb at a time, on random poles. Luckily, they all didn't go out. They were able to still play dark corners in the field. But all in all, putting cones out and making soccer happen, everyone was still happy. The director actually went out there after he found out the paint machine wasn't working. He wanted to just apologize to every team captain individually. And we had one goal that was delivered that Rush Union had purchased and had delivered out to Cox Road. And one of the crossbars was bent out of shape, and you couldn't even put the goal together. So they had to use a kickback for one of the goals, which is just a flat net. You can't actually shoot into it. It's just a flat net, a rectangle that you just. So, it was a rocky start, but not anybody's fault in particular. So I have decided. Joey mentioned this earlier, and I was going to wait till now. We took the other 2 soccer goals that are at Bell Park and had them delivered over to Cox. So now there are 3 sets of goals, and there's room for expansion for that program now. We don't run any programming at Bell Park for soccer. So, at this point in time, I didn't see the need for them to stay out there if we had a need for them at Cox. So that's the update with soccer. The numbers are great. Numbers are great. I think they had like 10 teams.
Whoa. So
Were there age restrictions on those?
Adult, just 18 and up.
18 and over, okay.
Yep.
So have you got any? So you've taken all the soccer goals away from Bell. Any feedback?
Happened yesterday. No,
Because I would anticipate, I mean, just the number of kids that you see out there that go and shoot and use the fields and do that. I mean, there's always, and I'll tell you the second thing that comes to my mind is that means the lacrosse goals are going to get banged up on that too, because they're going to use the lacrosse goals because there's no, but I mean, you always see soccer kids out there, people doing stuff with the soccer goals. That's all.
Yeah, actually, what Drayson's saying, actually, we might need to figure out a solution without having to move everything in the. So we were out there, and there are a lot of guys that come out there and want to kick footballs. I have no problem with it, but they were using the lacrosse goals and ripping up the nets. So that's something to keep an eye on.
For kicking?
What's that?
Yeah.
You said kicking footballs. You meant American
They were kicking
footballs.
them into what they do is they just walk upright. They're using it as a the NFL.
Yeah, like a warm-up net.
Like a warm-up net.
Okay.
And so, I'm not sure how much it's happening, but replacing these nets is kind of annoying. So, yeah.
Yeah, me and Thomas know about that now.
Yeah.
The other thing I would say is that typically in the spring, doesn't the high school soccer programs, but that's down the road, I know, but that may be a consideration because I know that they're out there. The Cambridge and sometimes Milton high school soccer programs rent the fields, and they're out there at Bell prior to us getting there.
Just curious, is there still space at Cox I know that we've been out there before, and soccer programs have rented the facilities for their travel groups or whatever it might be, or their local, I'm not sure what they are, but I know they come out there. Do we have space at Cox to keep that going? Is there...
There is some space at Cox, yeah.
Yeah.
They don't start their soccer games until 7:30 at night.
Okay. And there wouldn't be any conflict with anything else that's out there?
No.
Yeah.
No. There's some open times, especially on the turf field.
There's been one lady I met, and there was another guy, fantastic people. They seem really great. They just have nowhere to go. So I didn't know if we had space. I mean, sometimes they're just showing up at the fields, and unfortunately they're just looking to see what's empty on the calendar.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which is fine, except for then sometimes the calendar, it's not empty. And so, anyway.
Yes, that is happening.
Okay.
Any other comments? All right, moving on. We had a couple of Girl Scouts approach us in maybe early August. They wanted to do a free little library, and it was first brought to the city manager, and he deferred it to myself and community development with the recommendation to at least look into it and give them a good look at it. And the two young ladies were very prepared and gave us a great presentation. And we decided, why not? Let's give this thing a try. And I know in the past, those of you on the board that maybe have been here a while, they have come up in PRAB meetings.
Yeah.
But they put together a beautiful free little library. There it is. It's at Broadwell. And just wanted to show you guys, make you aware.
Great. That thing looks great. Who built that?
Looks great.
Two young ladies that
That looks fantastic.
part of one of the local troops. They from our first meeting to in the ground, it was like 4 weeks.
Wow.
Looks good.
Yeah, it does.
Very consistent with the Milton character.
Yeah.
Yes. We
Did you give them guidelines?
not necessarily. They actually came to us with a very similar design to this, and the only difference was it had a corrugated roof on it. And they couldn't find corrugated roofing for some reason, and B, actually after they said, well, can we just do a cedar roof? And I'm like, well, cedar should last a while. Yeah, that should be fine. And then our city architect said, well, that's probably better than the metal roof anyways, because usually a metal roof is way off the ground. It has sharp edges, and it's 5 feet off the ground. Somebody could get cut if they're walking by it or whatnot. He said the cedar's probably better. But yeah, go check it out next time you're in the area. It's really nice. And that's all I have for staff reports.
All right. Item 10, other business. Don't believe we have any? No? I'll accept the motion to adjourn.
I will make a motion to adjourn.
Motion by Jason,
Second.
second by Sean Michael.
Same.
All in favor?
Aye.
Meeting adjourned.
Reached it.